Konnichiwa, Void F test. Some months ago, a friend of mine sent me an email to ask me about KitKat. The reason is that KitKat is very popular in Japan. It is so popular that you have a lot of tastes here which you don't find anywhere else in the world. Now, it is the result of a pure coincidence, which was cleverly used by the marketing teams. KitKat is pronounced in Japanese as Kito, Kato, Kito, Kato. And they said that it sounds very much, and that was a clever finding, as Kito Katsu. And Kito Katsu means you will certainly win. They use that to make it into a gift to wish somebody success. The idea caught on because Japanese children are, even at a young age, supposed to do very well at school. They get extra lessons and tutoring at a very young age. That happens in Western countries too, but it is rather limited to subjects for which a pupil is weak or for which they have a special interest. Of course, you always have parents who pressure their children to be top-notch, but in Japan that's the usual. The extra lessons in Japan are to become the best, not to avoid to repeat the school year. That pressure to excel never stops. It goes on during the whole active life. And that link made the success of KitKat in Japan because they linked KitKat with Kitokatsu, and that's it. But of course it are the different tastes which triggered my friend's interest. You have no idea how much taste you have of all those different types of candy and so on. So I went to the local konbini and looked for as much typical Japanese tastes of KitKat as I could find. They didn't have a lot in stock because it's a rather small shop, and those typically Japanese tastes are even rare in Japan. All in all, these are luxury chocolate cookies. You actually have to go to a bigger or a specialized store to find them. I wanted to order some and they were willing to oblige, but it took some time before the candy arrived. Some of the tastes are only available for a limited time. They are seasonal tastes. I think they looked in different outlets to find some forgotten unsold boxes, but okay. I finally ended up with a rather big collection of different small KitKats, as you can see. This is a box I had lying somewhere. It's not a KitKat box, but they have all kinds of different packagings, and it's fun actually, you know. Now, but that's not the end of the story. They are smaller than usual, as you can notice. They are approximately a fourth, I think, of a normal KitKat. It's here you have a normal KitKat, and that is one of the others. It's about a fourth, I think. And they are very suitable to use with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee also. But I think we should start with a normal KitKat, so that we have a baseline for the comparison. Afterwards I'm going to taste the small ones, but I'll probably won't do them all in one video because I have something like 20 tastes and I don't like my videos to become too long. Also, my friend, it must be a friend because he watches my videos, he sent me some neutral KitKat, which I have already shown you here. He sent me some neutral KitKat and some other things too. He must really be a fan of that kind of candy to know it so precisely, because he also sent me this Leo and this Ole. And now I have actually 4 kind of wafers which look to be the same. They were sent, 3 were sent to me, the KitKat, the Leo and Ole. But when I did my research for this video, I also discovered something which is called Kvikk Lunsj. Never heard of it. Kvikk Lunsj. It also looks like a copy of the others, and I had sent some bars from Norway because it's the only country where it's actually available. But what about the chocolate wafers? I have all 4 of them, so let's compare. Now, KitKat. KitKat is originally English. It has a rather long and complicated history, but I don't intend to deal with really all the details because it goes very back in time. Originally, it's from Rowntree in York, and that's a city in North Yorkshire in England. It was bought by Nestlé in 1988, and it introduced a chocolate wafer in 1935. This is 1935. Remember that 35. Now let's open it. Let's see, it's a bit tight, and so it's a bit tight. But most of you will already have eaten this kind of stuff, I guess. So this is it, very well known, with the embossing on it and so on. It's a very well known. Can easily break it. You know that. You know the drill, I guess. But most people have already seen it. If you actually have it without the packaging, the name is embossed on it, so once it's open, it's easily to recognize. But then we have Leo, and Olé. These two are made in the same city, in the same factory where Leo was produced for the first time in 1939. So it's this one that's 1939. Since 2013, there's a cheaper variant, which is this. It's Olé. It's manufactured in the same factory. It seems that it's only available in one chain of discount markets, and the factory is in a small city in Belgium. In Belgium, everything is small, it seems, and that city is Herentals or so. The factory produces both wafers on the same production line. The only difference actually is the packaging. Now, Leo is still the most popular brand in its kind in Belgium, so I'm going to open Leo. Let's see what that looks like. It's easier to open because the packaging is a bit bigger. So, and then this is, there you go. So you see it's actually the same as a KitKat. I don't see much difference in here. And then we have Olé, of which I'm sure it is exactly the same. See, and it's also the same. It's the same opening mechanism. Excuse me, I'm a bit confused about the camera, but it opens easier than the KitKats. Hopla. See, they don't have a brand name on it, but they have those waves, as if the chocolate is running over the wafer. It's a nice idea. It's actually the same. So that was Olé. And the friend of mine doesn't only watch my videos, he must be a really big fan, because he actually sent me a box. You can find those Leos in boxes like this. It's a big box, yeah. And if you turn it around, then there's a lid. There's a performed. There's a form with perforation, and you can open it like this, and then you can get a box like this, which you can then, for instance, put on a table, and then you can take them out from the top. It's a nice idea. It's not really essential for the taste of soap, but it's a nice idea. And yes, they look the same. The list of ingredients is the same, only the packaging is different. Nevertheless, the manufacturer gave the impression for some years that they were not the same, although they also say they just didn't communicate about it. They also say they keep the different packaging because the consumer tends to consider image more important than taste. There's some truth in that, you know. But then how do they explain the price difference? Olé is much cheaper than Leo. It seems to cost only about a third. There are some questions unanswered about Olé. I have searched all over the internet, but you don't find everything. I know that is a brand name of the German supermarket chain Aldi. That's that discount market. The Aldi supermarkets are the only places where you can get them. You can get them nowhere else. And Aldi is known for offering products at a very low price, and I guess they went to Nestlé somewhere before 2013 to ask them to produce a copy of Leo, and maybe they had a big order, and maybe that's the reason why Milka is actually the owner of Leo and Olé, and I think that's why Milka could do it at a lower price. Some people think they use cheaper ingredients, but I think that's pure nonsense. The two bars are exactly the same. They also taste differently. If they taste they taste the same, but if they taste differently, it's because of external factors like temperature, for instance, and how fresh they are, how new they are, how long it was in the store, things like that. Um some people like to have the idea that they are buying a superior product, but it's not really the case. You should also know that it's produced in Belgium, and Belgium is a European country. It's from the European Union, and the European Union has very severe rules for food. So maybe you can have cheaper ingredients, but inferior ingredients, that's something quite different, because that's a health issue, and that's not a laughing matter in those countries. They are a bit smaller than KitKats actually. As a matter of fact, KitKat weighs about 8 grams more than Leo and Olé, whereas the Belgian Duo weighs 33.3 grams and the KitKat weighs 41.5 grams. So there's a difference in weight. It makes it a bit difficult also to compare the prices. You really have to calculate everything. And now for that was a surprise to me that is Kvikk Lunsj. It's Norwegian. It's originally from Norway. It's still from Norway. It was started by Freia in 1937, just 2 years after KitKat came into being. It's primarily sold in the Scandinavian countries, Norway, and also Sweden and Denmark. But mind you, in Sweden and Denmark, it's only available in duty-free shops, so at ports and airports and so on. It's not really available in Denmark and Norway. It's actually only sold in Norway, not in Denmark or Sweden. I don't know whether it's available in Finland. That's the fourth Scandinavian country. It's between Norway and Russia. But I doubt it, considering the limited availability in Sweden and Denmark. I don't think that that you can find it in. Nowadays, Leo, Olé, and Kvikk Lunsj are all three owned by Mondelez. And Mondelez bought Freia in 1993. At least they don't sue each other. That's something. The bar is linked with some traditions in Norway. About a third of them are eaten during Easter. It's also connected with hiking. Well, that fits, I have to say. I know that cyclists use dark chocolate sometimes to get their energy levels back up, so yeah, okay. This kind of things also have a lot of sugar in it, so. But Norway is a northern country, and in the more southern countries, I think it would be a bad idea to put it in your back pocket, because the chocolate smells easily. I'm going to open. The packaging is, when it comes to tightness, it's a bit the same as, but it's not the same material as for the KitKats. It's also, yeah, this is not really, oh yeah, now I have it. Now it's opening. Oops, sorry. Oh, it's already broken in the package. There is embossing on it, but it's not easy to see. This is what I mean, you see, this kind of chocolate melts easily, and in a northern country I guess that's not really a problem, but in the more southern countries I think this can be, I don't see, yeah, but that might be because of the sunglasses that see the embossing, but normally the embossing is a bit more beautiful on the Kvikk Lunsj than on the others, because the lettering is finer. Hey, what happened here? Da, 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 da. Oh, I've lost my place on my page. Okay, now for me, Kvikk Lunsj has most beautiful embossing, but that's not really important for the taste of what. Kvikk Lunsj is the heavyweight of the quart. It's 47 grams, but the taste reminds very much of Leo and Olé. As a practical note, Leo and Olé have a bit more room in their packaging, which makes them easier to open than KitKat and Kvikk Lunsj. You see with Kvikk Lunsj, but the Kvikk Lunsj, the packaging of the Kvikk Lunsj is a bit thicker and a bit stronger than that of KitKat. So KitKat is really doesn't have a lot of room in its packaging, but you tear the packaging easily apart, whereas the Kvikk Lunsj is a bit stronger and that makes it a bit more difficult. Now, which one's the best? That's a matter of personal taste, of course. I like all of them. Although I have a slight preference for the Leos, the KitKat has a bit of a stronger chocolate flavor, but I don't think you should exaggerate that too much either. I'm going to see this is how it looks in the inside. This is KitKat on the inside, and this is a Leo on the inside. There's more wafer. It depends sometimes a bit where you break it, you know. And this is then this is an Olé. I've broken it a bit. This is Olé, but I didn't break it very conveniently to wait a moment. I'm going to redo that. Yeah. But they are the same, you know. And this is then the Kvikk Lunsj. Hopla, there we go with the Kvikk Lunsj. You see it there. Yeah. But it depends on a bit. It's all the same wafer with chocolate around it. Actually, I thought that the KitKat would have more dark chocolate than Leo and Olé and Kvikk Lunsj, but it doesn't. It's the difference isn't actually. The difference isn't big. It's a bit darker, yes. It's a bit darker. This is the KitKat, and this is an Olé. And you see that I always have a bit trouble with those. Oh yeah, it's more or less the same. I would say enjoy, but just don't overdo it because it's candy anyway. It's not really healthy food, but once in a while, certainly not a bad thing. So that was only meant as a general introduction to those 4 chocolate wafer bars. As a general introduction, because then later on I will say more about the lawsuits, because you've seen they're very much alike, eh? So you expect that they will sue each other for copyright infringement and things like that, and indeed that kind of stuff happened. I will talk about that in another video, and then we will talk about the small stuff, which is actually the most interesting part of it. This is really fun, you know. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.